if you can explain what is the crack?
Hey, the crack.
How can I have the crack? What's the crack?
What is the crack? You are the crack.
Welcome to Audio Crack. It is probably Monday, July 1st when you're listening to this, starting off July 4th week. Hopefully you have off. If not, hopefully you're listening to us, and hopefully we can give you some good stories, good crack, good banter to start your week when a lot of other podcasts aren't working. Honestly, I'm saying Audio Crack is the hardest working podcast in the world. And we have the hardest working producer, Nikki JV, who's joining us. He's the only person who's willing to work on a Sunday before July 4th week. And shout out Nikki Quinn. He's been doing an amazing job. We have a bunch of topics we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the presidential debate. We're going to talk about the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. We're going to handicap it. We're going to give you some picks so you can gamble on that. More news stories coming up. Team USA, U20, American football lost to Japan. We're going to break down what happened there. And we got a lot going on. But first, we're going to check in with Nikki JV. He's called Nikki JV because he only made JV. But we're going to keep him at that. And Nikki's got a great story. This is his first time. I think it's your second time speaking on the podcast. But just want to introduce him to you guys. He's an awesome guy. Helped out with my congressional campaign. Has been an absolute asset. He also worked undercover for the campaign in certain regards. But Nikki Quinn, thanks for everything, dude. This podcast would not exist without Nick. So,
bro, I'm just so happy to be here, man. You know, we're fighting through adversity right now. You driving across the country. Last night, I'm picking up my parents at 3:00 in the morning.
So Nick has been training to become a corrections officer. So basically, and Nick, don't get me wrong. How do you think you'd fare in prison?
Obviously, it depends what prison, you know, different stakes, different prisons. But me at Rikers would be a nightmare situation.
They're trying to send you to Rikers. I mean, do you get to choose what prison you get to go to?
You do not get to choose. No, it's whatever you're assigned to.
So you might get assigned Rikers?
I could be, yeah. It's for Rikers. Yeah.
So, I mean, Rikers is the most in demand right now. So if this podcast doesn't take off and all of you listening, Nikki Quinn is getting sent to Rikers if we can't get this podcast off the ground.
That would be a great YouTube series, though. It would be a great YouTube series. Me just walking around Rikers with a GoPro on.
That would be amazing for content. That would be amazing for content. Actually,
they actually don't allow you to have phones in prison, like as a corrections officer. You have to put that. You have to like stash that away in a locker just in case, God forbid, one of the inmates do get it. That's like one of the first things I read.
Oh.
But definitely would love to do a documentary about that.
I mean, is it true? Have you like heard about how they like throw poop at the officers sometimes?
That's true. That's 100% true.
And you also have to take like disease tests after that?
Every time.
Oh my God, dude. Okay, so we like literally this podcast needs to succeed or Nikki JV is going to get shanked and shit thrown at him in Rikers Island. So if anyone, all you crackheads out there, please spread the word of the crack, spread the word so we can make sure Nikki Quinn does not go to prison. I mean, hey, but Nick, imagine if you got shanked, how much money you'd get from the government.
I mean, if I live to see past the shanking, I'm sure it's a nice piece of coin, but
would you come back to the podcast?
Absolutely. I come back to the podcast,
but you do have a superpower. You have less internal organs to shank.
It's true. Yes. I only have one kidney. Only got one kidney. I actually don't know what side it's on, but I think it's on the right side.
You don't know which side the kidney's on?
I don't know what side it's on, but I'm pretty sure it's the right side, but I only have one born that way. And yeah, no, that's why Nikki JV was only JV because only one kidney, not built for varsity.
But I mean, that's one less organ to hurt. You got to think of it that way.
Yeah.
So first story you're going to get into is Team USA U20 American football at the World Games for football. Apparently it was the World U20 Edmonton, Canada 2024 championships for tackle football. IFAF lost to Japan 41-20. This is the most embarrassing football loss any team of all time has ever done. There's nothing else. I mean, this is the worst thing Japan has done to U.S. culture since 1941. Without a doubt, this day will live in U.S. American football infamy. And I was watching the highlights of this. I don't know what team we put out there. These definitely were not the best under 20-year-olds playing American football in this country. I think from what I've done the research on, all the players were paid to play. So if you paid $3,500, you got to play for Team USA under 20. A lot of guys who didn't get to play in college, didn't get scholarships. They all were like, oh, hey, might as well use my last hurrah at football to play for the World Games. But unfortunately, they got fucked up by Japan. And Japan was doing crazy air raid offense on them, double moves. Like this, I can't believe, like literally, like 80 years later, we have the Japanese doing tricky air raid offensives on the U.S. And they were up 14-0, and then they went up 21-0 on a double move. The corner got shook. It is the worst highlight of all time. And then they scored twice more. Terrible tackling. We need to put these clips into the podcast. Go to the YouTube. It is disgusting. And
any chance that United States, this could have been an inside job where they were throwing the game on purpose just so they have a chance to grow the game more globally. So everyone's like, hey, if China could take down the United States in football, maybe other countries want to join in. I think it's an inside job. I think they threw that game on purpose just to grow the game.
You think it's a false flag? So the U.S.
Listen, if United States wins in American football against China, nobody talks about it. Nobody cares. They're not going to be talking about it today like we're talking about it. Lose, upset, trending, get more heads turned into it.
That's a good point, Nick. That is a very good point. They could be trying to bait other countries into the world conflict. This could help grow the game globally more than anything, because teams are now going to be coming for the US's head. We got to get our game, like, we need to start coaching it up. Like, also everyone on the USCA football team, not team, but like whoever designed the team needs to be fired. Whoever's the GM.
Did they reach out?
I actually found, apparently one of the guys that I know, JJ, who used to work for Barstool, he says that his professor is the head coach of the team. So I'm literally trying to find who this guy is. And I want to have him on the podcast because it's July 4th. This is the worst news that America get, that we lost an American football game on a world scale against none other than probably our greatest enemy to attack on U.S. soil of all time, Japan. And, we need Josh Allen to drop some more bombs on Japan. That's what we need.
Do you know where the game took place?
Edmonton, Canada.
They basically beat us in our backyard.
I mean, this was not neutral territory. There was way more American fans at this game. I mean, it's despicable. I can't believe, what this country's come to. And this is way more disappointing than the presidential debate on Thursday night. I mean, I'm taking this loss to Japan as more indicative of how bad America has fallen than anything that has to do with politics, because it's bullshit. Moving on to the presidential debate, Nick, you watch it?
I could honestly say I watched half of it. I watched I watched from 9 o'clock to 10 p.m. The first thing I thought about is when Biden came out, his microphone was on and he was talking to the crowd and whatnot. And then you see Trump walk out and his microphone's cut. Like, you can't hear him at all. And I was just like,
yeah, I mean, the thing is they tried to just tell Biden his time was done when he started rambling and cut him off before he said crazy shit, which he did. He said a lot of crazy shit. But literally, who is running the country? If that is the guy who is the president of the United States, who is running our goddamn country? Honestly, trot whoever is actually making the decisions out there, because it's not Joe Biden. Joe Biden's mumbling about, malarkey is his fucking catchphrase. They made cans of water that are supposed to be like, he said, everyone was saying that Biden was going to be on tons of cocaine. Hunter Biden was going to hook him up with some crack. He was going to do Adderall, modafinil, which is another stimulant. Some were saying that they were going to microdose him with LSD, like the CIA, Operation MK Ultra type stuff to get that dementia ass brain going, turn the lights on, just like jumpstart it, see what happens. Some DMT. But he put out these it's just water, baby. No malarkey. And that's his catchphrase. And I was just like, yo, if you could give me a drug that would get me as fucked up as Joe Biden slurring up on that stage, I would absolutely take that shit. Because just imagine getting that, just it's just that would be hilarious. That's got to be equivalent of some sort of sedative just like we're just slurring.
They literally just like threw him on stage, and they were like, "We have no backup plan."
How did they let this happen? I mean,
It's a bad
if
look.
you know he's that bad, if you know he is that cognitively like bad, why would you run him again? I mean, it's literally ridiculous. Besides that, he's literally going off about just like bored. Like Trump even called him out. He was like, "Yo, dude, I don't know what he's saying," and he doesn't even know what he's talking about either. Literally, they'd be better off. And legally, they can't change the candidate anymore. Legally, they cannot.
Oh, so this is
Yeah,
final?
this is final. Because the thing is that it went through the Democratic process. RFK Jr. should have been in the Democratic primary. He did his own live stream. It's ridiculous. He did an alternate debate live stream that had him in a podium, making it look like he was on the stage and answering questions, but he wasn't. So he just like inserted himself into this whole thing. And I think that's hilarious that he was just like, they didn't invite me up there, so I'm going to pretend I'm there.
I think he's getting like 20-30% of the vote.
No, that's way too high. That like, I think polling, it's like I guarantee he's not more than 5, but that's going to be crucial points in this election. I mean, they were going off, Trump's just like saying there's 1,000 Guatemalans coming in crazy and they're attacking. And then, Biden's like, your like he was talking about how like family members are, assaulting family members, like sisters are assaulting sisters. And I'm just like, dude, this is nuts. And then they start going off. They asked him like 7 times about childcare. And then they just start talking about golf. They're just like President Trump, what do you think you do for the childcare crisis in America? Like President Biden, what do you think you're going to do about childcare? And Biden's like, I was talking about, I was a 6 handicap when I was a vice president, which he was like, he got down to a 6 handicap while he was vice president. Shouldn't he have been vice presidenting? Like, why was he bragging about when he was vice president, he got to a 6? Like isn't one of like the biggest, criticisms of Trump is that he golfs too much? Is now Biden.
When Trump's on the golf course, you hear about it.
And then it's like they get into an argument about playing golf, which then I was just like, dude, this would be gold if they did a match. Just mic them both up, have them both out there like the Manning Brady golf match. Have them play
2 different broadcasts. You need a CNN version and you need a Fox version.
That'd be huge. And then just have them play for 50 electoral votes, which I think that would be the right number. That would be the perfect amount, because it's like, it wouldn't be a definite win, but it would be a serious advantage. But that would just be such great content, like them going at each other. I mean, this is terrible for our country, but just, it would be amazing content. I can't believe the memes coming out of that was just hilarious. I mean, like, one guy was saying, "You're the only felon here," then him being like, Biden, then Trump being like, "Your son's a felon, so is that what you think of felons?" I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how this turns out. I don't see how anyone competently thinks Biden can continue being president. I mean, there's a reason, like, people in third world countries, people abroad, like, they still understand strongman politics. And part of strongman politics, and like, this is just law of the jungle. If you're an old lion, there's going to be some young lion that sees that you're old, you're past your prime, and is going to come take your pride. It's going to come take all your women. Like silverback gorillas, lion prides, it's the law of the jungle. And even though we deny or say, hey, we're humanity, we're civilized, we've definitely reached a point where, all of these idealistic motions and idealistic ideas that they try to implement from college campuses into policy, into the world. The reality is the law of the jungle still rules the planet, and they see an old decrepit man and they're like, oh, that's their leader. We can come take their shit. There's zero leadership. Like the law of the jungle rules. It always will be. And the fact that people don't understand that, and don't understand that having strong leadership that projects strength does so much for, America on the world stage. So much, like, it would have prevented invasions, terrorist attacks. Like the fact that the country is not projecting strength, and it has, we have Ukraine, we have what happened in Israel, October 7th, and we have goddamn our how we left Afghanistan. Those three actions are all due to weak leadership. It has nothing to do with our military. Zero to do with our military. It has to do with the people who are telling our military what to do, because it was a goddamn disaster. I mean, it's worse than what happened in Afghanistan, and it's not being projected by the media. It's not being displayed. But like, if you look at the people who were actually
Soldiers died over there, right?
Soldiers died. People who worked with the U.S. government were killed. We left billions of dollars of equipment. The media does not stress, and they don't want to show you because they don't want you to know the truth about how badly and mismanaged the situation was. So it was worse than Saigon, the fall of Saigon. Because I mean, it was ridiculous. In Saigon, everyone knows, like, the fall of Saigon. Like, it was playing on the news. Everyone saw how bad it was. This is just being glossed over. But, moving into some lighter news, we got the Nathan's hot dog eating contest coming up. So Nikki Quinn's going to handicap the hot dog eating contest because, look, we have no more Kobayashi. We have no more Joey Chestnut. So who the hell is going to win? I mean, Joey Chestnut, he sold out to the libs, dude. He's straight up eating veggie burger, veggie hot dog. I think the plan was to try to get him to break the record eating vegetable, plant beyond meat fucking hot dogs, which is absolute bullshit. That is not a hot dog. That's just a crime against humanity and crime against nature to make people eat those dogs. But anyway, they eliminated him from the contest because he wanted to rep a different brand, which I agree with. I think if you're going to spit in the face of the exact medium and gluttony and Americanism, which is consuming large amounts of highly processed meat that might not be good for you, but it's just so goddamn American. That's what made you famous, Joey Chestnut. You can't turn your back on what made you Joey Chestnut. You can't be eating Beyond Meat. That's communist. And Beyond Meat isn't even good for you. A study came out that the soy proteins in it are freaking poison and our body can't process them. I mean, what's next? Joey Chestnut is eating, crushed up cricket hot dogs. We're eating the bugs. We're eating the goddamn bugs because Joey Chestnut wants a bag. I think, if anything, we should be paying Joey Chestnut. We should, the country should be paying Joey Chestnut out of the defense budget because he's defending the United States from foreign adversaries who might eat more than us. And that's our thing.
He's put on a show every July 4th for the past decade plus.
He's a national treasure. He should be paid by the government. And our taxes should be going towards Joey Chestnut being paid to eat as much hot dogs as he can, because guess what? That's America. We produce the most food. We can be the most gluttonous because we've gotten to the point where we created a country that is the best, and we can produce more food than you so that we can eat more than you, so we can be stronger than you, have more mass than you. And that is why Joey Chestnut needs to be paid by the U.S. government, and our tax dollars go to it. Because guess what? China could buy out Joey Chestnut next. Then what?
Live tour.
What happens if China goes and pays Joey Chestnut to be eating hot dogs on their Chinese Independence Day, which I don't think they have, but there's definitely some Chinese Chinese New Year. What if they got him up there eating dumplings and they just steal him from us? Like, he's a national treasure. That would be like, that would be like if, who's another national treasure? Chuck Norris. Well, they actually probably already did. But we can't let foreign entities steal Joey Chestnut from us because we're one step away from that. So the U.S. government needs to make sure, lock him down on a contract, lifetime, to inflation to make him happy. So that's Joey Chestnut.
So we got the bet of the 4th of July, okay? The Nathan's hot dog eating contest champion. Plus 1,100 odds, because I know you love him plus. Matt Stoney, former champion, last guy to dethrone Joey Chestnut in 2015 when he won. I think he ate 62 hot dogs. I think Chestnut ate 60. He's plus 1,100, which is insane for a past champion. No Joey Chestnut. Competition will actually be good for once. And plus 1,100 odds for a past champion at 32 years old is insane.
Dude, actually, I'm taking that right now. plus 1,100.
Plus 1,100
Dude,
odds. Plus
Dude,
1,100
I'm
odds.
throwing fucking $100 on this.
Matt Stoney. You heard it here first. Matt
Dude,
Stoney.
that is fucking fire, dude. Like that could pay rent.
Don't disrespect a former champion like that.
Yeah, he's the last man to beat Joey Chestnut.
Yeah, 2015.
Book it. I'm taking it. That's the pick. And we're going to put that out. Make a graphic, baby. Pump it up. In other news, I actually, the whole country's been under a huge heat wave. Terrible heat wave. It's been like 100 degrees for like a week. Like I was in Las Vegas last week. It was 127 degrees at one point, or at least my car said that. That's ridiculous. I mean, that's just way too hot. Let me tell you exactly where we went. So check it out on TikTok. My TikTok, Billy Hot Takes. Just on my Instagram, Billy Football, but the I is a 1. Just been like creating short content basically with my dog.
You got to do more of those.
I got to pump out. I'm going to pump out some more.
They love those.
So we first went from New York City to Cincinnati, Ohio, where we then went to Florence, Kentucky, Williamstown, Kentucky. We went to the Creationist Museum, which is pretty cool. Then went to Topeka, Kansas, stopped there for the night very shortly. The only thing that was open was Hooters, and Hooters in the Northeast is like pretty gentrified in that there's no real Hooters. Everyone's pretty covered up. Topeka, Kansas, they're hooting. Hooters are hooting out there. Then we went from Topeka to Denver, saw Ben Mintz. By the way, sorry about that episode. We were absolutely wasted.
I actually thought it was great, honestly.
We were hammered that episode. Well, I was hammered. Ben was, raving. He was doing his usual thing. But Denver to Vegas. Denver, mile high. But when you're driving to Vegas, you get up to 10,000 feet, which is 2 miles high, basically. So, and it's 80 mile per hour roads. So I was like driving fast, ended up going an extra mile in elevation in a really short time period. I had to pull over. I started puking. I didn't know what was happening to me. It was ridiculous. That drive from Denver to Vegas, it catches you off guard because you're not checking the elevation when you're driving. You're just driving through the mountains like, oh, this is so great. Like, this is so awesome. Then you're hungover from a Widespread Panic concert the night before, and you're just like, oh, God, just brutal. But then hit Vegas, got a lot done. Vegas was dope. Always dope. Whitey got addicted to slots. It's very easy to train a dog just to use his paw to hit the slot machine, and just playing next to him. I think he's got an issue. 1-800-GAMBLER. But it's gotten real bad.
Did the casino say anything about that with your dog on the
Well,
chair?
the thing is, they didn't even notice, but we just got out of there before we took the photo shoot. He wasn't actually addicted to gambling. Parody law. But Vegas was also way too hot. Then went through Utah, went to a bunch of national parks. Content from there will come. I actually went to Salt Lake City. I went freaking drag racing on the Salt Lake. I took my truck on the Salt and was just hitting speeds I've never hit before, because that's where they break all the all-time speed records for cars, because it's just literally a gigantic parking lot, a gigantic natural parking lot. The Bonneville Speedway is where all the land speed records have been done. And it's, just caked salt. Had the dog running around on the Salt Lake. I put little booties on his feet. That was cute. But he's just running around. It was so funny. But I didn't have booties for him, so I just took my socks and got some rubber bands and put them on his feet, and he was just trotting around because, salt getting in dogs' feet, they then get irritated and they're licking them, then they get salt poisoning where they just need as much water. But that was awesome. Then Salt Lake went up through Idaho, almost got arrested in Idaho buying beer. I was at a gas station and I handed the guy my New York State ID.
He thought it was
he
fake?
thought it was fake. He started yelling at me and I was like, yo, dude, I fucking drove all the way here. And he was like, I'm calling the fucking cops. If this doesn't scan, I'm calling the fucking cops. I was like, dude, fucking scan it then. You better not break my ID because I need that shit. Cause then I can't, then I'm driving without a license. If you snap that thing, I'm going to fucking call the cops right now. And he was like, I'm going to call the cops anyway. Cause I know this thing's fake. And I was like, anyway, he scans it. It works. And he goes, gotcha. I was like, fuck you, dude. Like, that wasn't a fucking joke. You absolutely thought I brought a fake ID in here. And I at the time I was clean shaven. And I don't know. I'm getting, whenever I clean shave, I've dropped a little weight recently. And whenever I'm clean shaven, everyone thinks I'm young, which is like, I'm like, oh, great. I'm looking young. But then it was like, how heavy did I look before? But anyway, that was fucking bullshit.
It's pretty much just like trying to be like a middle 20-year-old actor playing like a high school kid in like a movie or a TV show or whatnot. You just always have to be clean shaven 24/7.
Yeah, dude. But that guy was. Then I was like, fuck Idaho. But actually, Idaho was like beautiful. Idaho was so beautiful. Oh, dude, bro, the Mormons. I was in Salt Lake City. I went to a bar. There was like Mormons, right? Everyone talks about like the stereotypical Mormons are like, blonde, blue-eyed, very great shape, Taysom Hill, right? Like Zach Wilson, like you see all of them, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Kyle Filipowski.
Yeah. Oh, is he didn't? Oh, yeah. Did you hear about that? That's in the news.
Mormons are on the hot seat right now.
But basically, the women are jacked. And I'm not like saying like attractive. I wasn't being like, wow, these girls are hot. I'm like, there's these women with freaking horseshoe triceps. Like, people talk about the horseshoe, like you see right there. I kind of have it, but it's like when you have two tricep muscles and it looks like a horseshoe on the back of your arm. Like they were jacked, freaking back, huge backs. I didn't know, like maybe this was just a group I saw. Maybe they were like a fitness. They're like into CrossFit together, but like 0% body fat, huge lats. And I'm just like, holy fuck, is this like, because they can't drink coffee. So they're just getting ripped. And I was just like, holy fuck, dude, they're jacked. It wasn't just the dudes, it was the women too. But that was wild. Maybe it was just the one group of Mormons I saw that one night, but I'm now sticking with
Johnny Drama's girlfriend, Entourage, season 1, where she's like a bodybuilder for that one episode.
Yeah. I have to say, definitely look like there's androgens involved, which maybe just I was hanging out with a bunch of bodybuilding Mormons. I don't know.
You didn't ask them what supplements they were on?
No. It was one of those things where it's just in passing. But Kyle Filipowski drops in the draft because apparently his girlfriend, who is over 10 years older than him or 8 years older than him.
It's like a 7-8 years difference, but the creepy part is like he was like 16, 17, and she was like 24.
Yeah, that's fucked. And then apparently his mom.
She went to his prom. And he was like, she was like 24.
And how old was he?
Or like whatever. Yeah, he was probably like 17, 18. She was like 24, 25.
That's illegal, but it's a girl doing it, so no one cares. But his mom and his brother both commented on Instagram, we can't get in touch with him. He's been completely brainwashed and groomed by this woman. And I mean, he's dropped in the draft, probably lost millions of dollars because people have looked into his background like something sketchy's going on. And then his brother says, look into Mormon grooming, which, I mean,
she forced him to send an email to his family, which is like the OG notes app. Don't contact me, whatever. Again, like you type an email to his family, which is that's some brainwashing shit. Like that's some crazy.
I don't
stuff.
know what you could what a girl could tell me to make me turn against my family. And it seems like his family is pretty, I'm guessing that they didn't do anything terrible to him. I mean, when there's multiple people involved, like
this makes Aaron Rodgers' family relationship seem a lot better. Right now.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers didn't have a woman involved. I mean, I don't know, but Aaron Rodgers still getting shit for getting his mind right before the season. His mind and body, I think, is bullshit. Like the fact that he's getting so much flack for not showing up to one minicamp.
I still watch time. I watched 2022 Aaron Rodgers highlights when he was last season on the Packers.
Yeah.
We still got a good one. We're gonna get one more year out. We're gonna get one solid year out of him.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I mean, crazy stuff. But trying to think if there's anything. Oh, Tua Girl, they found her.
Did you see Tommy Smokes? Tommy Smokes had a night on Twitter because of the Hawk Tua Girl.
Oh, he found her?
Yeah, he took a picture. They were at like some concert.
Oh, the Zach Bryan concert? Okay.
Yeah, he was at the Zach Bryan concert, and he looked like he was on like 6 different drugs at one time.
Dude, yeah. So yeah, she surfaced at the Zach Bryan concert. If that's awesome. But what else? What else? I think
Hawk Tua Girl got to sing with Zach Bryan before you did.
no, I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, way back. What?
I didn't know that.
I it was at the same concert that Bree and him touched base at. Yeah, no, I made a fool of myself on that stage. Now seeing like all like the action, I got in early where it was like, yo, like now he's bringing on Christian McCaffrey, guys of a way higher caliber. I'm nowhere near that high of a caliber person, but it's just great to be there.
Guy from the Indy 500.
Yeah. I think I'm that level, right?
I know you're definitely above the guy from the fact that we have to call him Guy from Indy 500 and we call you Billy
No, I
Footballs.
think Hawk Tua Girl is just way higher caliber.
She signed with an agent or something. Like she's already fast tracked to
Dude, the
stardom.
funniest thing was, did you see Caroline Ban? I can't pronounce her last name. She works for Barcelona.
Oh yeah, her mocking
yeah,
of it.
Just,
I thought that I actually thought that was really funny. Got to bite on it like a rattlesnake or whatever.
Bite that off like a rattlesnake. But yeah, hope you guys are having a great 4th of July week. If you're working this Monday, we're here for you. We record on the Sunday just to bring you something to get you through the day. Hope you are all looking forward to your 4th of July's. 4th of July is one of my favorite holidays. Grilling, beers, loving the country, blatant nationalism. No one can get mad at you for it. Just loving this great nation. I've driven across this nation and I've been to many different places in a very short period of time. And even though they're very different, even though the people are different, the food are different, the landscape is vastly different, there is one similarity, and that is the American spirit that just runs through every single person in all of those places. And it's something that unites us, and we really got to remember, how awesome it is to be in a nation where we can speak freely, we can exercise all of our, rights, and sort of really no fear of government crackdown and precaution expect in certain cases. We take that for granted, and you got to think about that because this American empire might not last long. And, like empires before it, what is going to last? And hopefully it's the freedoms and human rights that we've put forward to spread that our founding fathers always wanted. So I think we're going to have a July 4th episode with Jack Mac. But for all you who are probably not going to listen because it's July 4th, happy July 4th. Love this country, love each other, shoot off some fireworks, and remember, we're all in this together in this great experiment called America. Drink some beers. I sure am. Thank you guys. Signing out, unless Nikki Quinn's got anything else to say.
All I was going to say is a great rant, by the way, but Barstool takes off 2 weeks out of the year, I'm pretty sure. I think the 1 week is Christmas,
Yeah.
and the other week is 4th of July. Was going to start my fast today, but I said, can't start week of 4th of July. Start next week fast. It's going to be legendary.
How long are you fasting?
Weeks.
Are you legit going to do like water fast?
Just going to pound water.
No, dude, Nikki Quinn, that might affect your...
Maybe a little bit of salt.
Take supplements.
Like the Kevin James.
Yeah, take supplements.
My longest fast did last about, I think I went 8 days.
Holy
one time,
shit, dude.
Just drinking just straight water, and it's pretty electric.
Can your kidneys handle that?
I push them to the limit, and I probably push them past the limit, and we're going to do it again. And it's going to be great content. Yeah,
dude, there was one guy who was like 400 pounds who fasted for like over a year. Let me look him up right now. But basically, Angus Barbary, in 1965, the 27-year-old Angus fasted for 1 year and 17 days. He ate no food at all and lost 125 kilograms, which is 2.2. That's like 300-ish pounds. So make sure you get all of your supplement. Like, take some sups, dude. at least take some sups because your body's going to get decimated.
Next time we talk, I'll be starting.
But like if
that'll probably be day
if
one.
if you don't have the energy to get shit done, I'm gonna have to force feed you. I'm gonna come find you. Yeah. Are you drink coffee?
I don't drink. My parents try to get me on coffee. I can't
Why?
do it. Ugh. It tastes like shit.
I mean, some of these Frappuccino milkshakes that are super sugary.
Dude, I've been addicted to fucking Oreo frappes, and I hate coffee, but I drink the Oreo frappes from McDonald's, and it's not coffee. It's not coffee. I'll tell you that much. It is the greatest drink of all time. I literally addicted to it.
I'm actually pumped to see how this goes. Nick, we might put you on a cycle. Is that cool? We might.
I think I honestly there's no wrong answers here.
I mean, if you're going to prison, we need to get hard and you need to get jacked.
Oh, if I'm going to Rikers, you're putting me on a cycle because I'm gonna at least need the confidence, even if I don't look like it. I'm gonna need the mental confidence that steroids give you to just be like, I can take this.
Fuck this guy.
Basically, just need drunk confidence all the time.
Yeah. This is gonna be awesome. So we're gonna hit the fast. So we need to trim down, bulk up because we need to get a good base, and then we're gonna put on a shit ton of muscle. And then you also gotta start doing jujitsu and just like knife fighting tactics. What kind of weapons do you get when you're in there?
They give you. I'm pretty sure you get a stick. Don't know what the stick is called 100%, but you get a stick.
Baton.
You are. There you go. I think you're right. I think it is a baton, but I have to do firearm training, so I don't think you get a gun in prison, but I get to hold a gun at some point. But baton, I imagine mace, some type of mace action on the belt, maybe. I don't know. I guess I never thought about a weapon. I guess maybe just a baton. I think about the longest yard. I'm pretty sure they just had a baton.
That actually might be. If you get the Rikers job, that means you can conceal carry in New York City. That's huge, dude. Shout out everybody at home. Shout out crackheads, everyone who supported the podcast. We're growing. And honestly, I think we're going to give you a lot of content this week. Only ones at the company. Even though this isn't, hopefully we get officially, hopefully Nikki Quinn can get a job, doesn't have to go to prison.
There's nothing wrong with going to prison. It's just getting the right prison.
Yeah. But anyway, thank you to everyone at home. Have an amazing break. I'm going to be slamming beers.
Shout out crackheads,
shout out
baby.
Crackheads. Shout out to crack maidens. Turns out we have a pretty high female listenership.
I'll say we actually went up from like 3% females to like, I would say 7-8% females. So maybe we can get to double digits.
Dude, and that's like higher than other like podcasts at Barstool. Like
you're eye candy, baby.
Barely. I think we've had a lot of women on.
Yes, we have.
So let's
two.
Yeah, let's pat ourselves on the back.
Josie Sainer and Caroline.
Yeah, 2 women.
Blanket on the last name.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce her last name, and I don't think I ever will.
Starts with a B.
Anna Wicks.
Yeah, see, you definitely. That's like a 9 out of 10 right there. Pronunciation. I'm sure she would agree with that.
All right. Well, shout out everybody. I know it was only 45 minutes, a shorter one, but we have to break in Nikki Quinn.
Next time we'll tell the story about how I almost died at the Barstool office.
Oh yeah. And we got to tell the story about how you went undercover for you think Watergate was crazy with undercover operatives? Perfect. Thanks guys. Have a good one. Love you. Love America.
Thank you guys.